Okay then. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Om Ganatmirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayamupakada Mayam Darati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavams Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagna Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitams Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagat Pite Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatuyubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanan pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Hare Krishna. Today's Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa-Puja celebration. It's August 17th, 2025. We're here at Prabhupada House in Melrose. Couldn't be a more perfect place to celebrate Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. Okay, so it's like this term guru, in one sense, to demystify it. Guru means teacher, a teacher, and just like in any field of endeavor, like if someone wants to learn uh, physics, they'll find a teacher. If someone wants to learn tennis, they'll find a teacher. If someone wants to be really good at playing piano, they'll find a teacher. And so it's described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Tasmat Guru Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama. Shabde Pare Shanishnatam Brahmanyupashanashraya. That if one wants the Shreya, and there's a distinction, Preya is the immediate gratification, and Shreya is the long-term benefit, and ultimate long-term benefit, spiritual eternal benefit, that happiness, that benefit that will never be destroyed by time. So if one's interested only in, let's call it, survival, decent level eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, then there's no particular reason for a guru other than in the superfluous sense of I want my pet guru. It's really fashionable to have a guru. It's really fashionable. Who's your guru? That sort of thing. Okay. At the same time, so guru means teacher. At the same time, guru means heavy. Guru means heavy. So if we're truly accepting, following, and serving a guru, then we should feel a heavy weight on our material attachments. Guru, sadhu means to cut. Guru means heavy. Okay. And so if we're dedicating to the higher values of human life, not just the animal propensity, but of essentially survival, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. We went to higher values of human life, self-realization, connection with absolute connection with God, devotional service to God, than the guru's recommended. No, that's wrong. Required, absolutely demanded. No question about it. Just anything like, yeah, I'll be a Olympic level athlete, but I'm just gonna like figure it out on my own. No, you're gonna get coaches. I'm gonna, I'm gonna be a PhD renowned physicist. I'm just gonna think about it, figure. We'll probably, not make any progress. So similarly, with Krishna says, of sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self. So we have so many human areas of human endeavor: art, science, crafts, engineering, psychology, education, everything. But the most important is spiritual science of the self. Even if let's take the Olympic athlete metaphor further. So to get a gold medal, how much dedication is required? I wish I was committed to my Krishna conscious practice as the Olympic athletes are to their sport. I mean, I'd be doing pretty good then, So, but then what Krishna is saying is if we really want if we really want to cultivate mastery in spiritual science, we need to be more dedicated than the Olympic athletes are to their gold medal. Because it's a spiritual science, that's like the weightiest science. That's the most important, more important than basketball or chemistry or whatever. So yeah. So a principle many or maybe all of you have heard me emphasize a few times or a few thousand times is Srila Prabhupada is 100% completely available and accessible to be our current direct living link to Sri Krishna's disciplic succession to the Parampara. And so this is important, and often emphasized. If someone is saying, "Oh, he's not completely available. He's you need a living guru," implying Prabhupada's dead. That, I mean, we can smile because if we don't laugh, we'll cry. So it's appropriate to laugh, understanding that that is spiritual violence. That is spiritual violence. Srila Prabhupada, 100% available. This is what I'm saying is completely aligned with an abundance of his teachings and his personal example. Srila Prabhupada, apart from the philosophy he gave, that Vani, Divya Gyan, transformational, transcendental knowledge, Divya Gyan, Ride Prokashito, you fill our heart with Divya Gyan, Diksha, Divya Gyan and Diksha, Prabhupada equates them. That is not in any way dependent on physical proximity in the same room, or the same planet, or whatever. And by his personal example, Srila Prabhupada established a system of official and essential initiation, where the initiate had no physical interface with him whatsoever. Prabhupada never wrote them a letter. Prabhupada did not select their Vaishnava name. Prabhupada was not the one who chanted on their initiation beads. They never saw Prabhupada at an airport or a temple or talked to him on telephone, never had a Zoom call with him. And clearly, and Srila Prabhupada is their Diksha Guru, direct current living link to the Parampara. Prabhupada established that before his disappearance passed on November 14th, 1977. So Srila Prabhupada is fully present in his Vani. Prabhupada would call Vani. His instruction, he would call it vibrational association, preceptorial association. And he said that's essential. The Vapu, the physical association, that could be there or not at the same time. So sometimes, Prabhupada's still present through his Vani, not true. And he's also 100% present through his Vapu. Now, sure, he enacted a pastime on November 14th, 1977, the disappearance of, disappearance just means a particular form of Prabhupada's Vapu is no longer accessible to our limited vision. But Srila Prabhupada is 100% present in his Vapu form, Murti form, picture form. If not, what did Prabhupada give us? A system of idol worship? No. No. And so the pure devotee and Vishnu Tattva, Krishna, they're 100% present in their instruction. Prabhupada's fully present in his Vapu form too. So many, even just yesterday, talking with Elizabeth, she's having such, this is clearly not her first lifetime in contact with Srila Prabhupada. That's my opinion. And so such personal connection with Srila Prabhupada. Also in the conversation with Elizabeth, I think also Monica was here. We had like 21 hours of straight hearing and chanting yesterday. And thanks to the organizers of this program. So I'm not putting in where exactly which conversation happened, but at one point during the conversation yesterday, we used the example of the borrowed from Srila Prabhupada, like all our examples, of like, because the question was a direct relationship with God, direct relationship with Krishna. And so it's simultaneously, it's achintya beta beta tattva, simultaneously direct and indirect. The example of, if I want a direct relationship with the print on the page, I don't want to go through these glasses, they're in the way. It's all blurry. I'm not seeing anything. So it could be said that these lenses are between my eyes and the print, and because they're finely crafted lenses, the lenses enhance my direct relationship with the page. An enhanced metaphor, same principle. Like if I want a direct relationship with the stars in the sky. Okay, I'm really not seeing much. But if I look through a high level, highly crafted telescope, no, there's a whole series of lenses, finely crafted. So we can say they're in between my eye and the star, they're in the way. No, because they're finely crafted lenses, they enhance the direct relationship of my eye with the stars and distant galaxies, like that. Okay, so that represents the parampara, the finely crafted lenses with Srila Prabhupada as our current direct living link to the parampara. And then the higher values of life means like I'm really interested in cutting my attachments to the modes of material nature. Guna is called rope. And so just like if we take that analogy, a rope. So just like, let's say if I'm all tied up and you said, and you're all tied up with ropes. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll save you. Like, well, how can you save me, David? You're all tied up too. You're all bound up with ropes. So it requires a truly liberated personality who's not entangled in the modes of nature to free us from our entanglement in the modes, and that disentanglement from the modes of nature. Really, because there is like an impersonal liberation, but that's not steady, that's not stable. We were just reading yesterday in the prayers of Lord Brahma to Krishna, chapter 14 of Krishna book, or 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam. Vine Ravindaksha Vimukti Maninas Vyasa Bhava Vishuddha Buddhayo Auya Kritrina Padam Padam Tata Patat Yadavuna Drita Yushmadan, right? That even if one achieves so-called impersonal liberation, freedom from material desires driven by rajas and tamas or even material sattva. But if there's not a taste for Shuddha sattva, for serving Krishna, we'll come back down to the material world. Mm-hmm. So Srila Prabhupada, Shakti Vesha avatar, empowered by Krishna, to save us from the ocean of material existence, Srila Prabhupada, sometimes he gives the example, like the spiritual masters there, that's Srila Prabhupada. The Vedas are there, Krishna's there, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra there, the program of sadhana is there, it's all there. That's like the lifeline, we're in the ocean. Prabhupada will emphasize, he says, and you need to grab the lifeline. That's your responsibility. No one will do that for you. And so, and it's like barely water drowning in the Pacific Ocean, and you're sort of, but hell, my false pride. I'm doing fine. I don't need any spiritual guide. I'm doing just fine. Okay, so that's our foolishness. So the lifeline's there. We get to grab it. Family, community, we get to support each other. Grabbing the lifeline that Srila Prabhupada's giving to us. Looking right here at Prabhupada House, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in a Vapu form. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, he reasons ill who tells that Vaishnavas die when thou art living still in sound. Yes. Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. Okay, so that's okay. The foundational element of the lifeline. Srila Prabhupada gave us this chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So in a few moments, we'll offer offerings to whoever would like to offer to Srila Prabhupada, and I guess call it maybe the process I'll recommend is if someone's coming up to offer to Srila Prabhupada, obeisance to Prabhupada, share your offering, whether it's extemporaneous from the heart or if we're reading something, whatever. And then after offering, then obeisances with pranam mantras to Srila Prabhupada. One thing I feel compelled to say, just in closing my part here, yeah, that because sometimes it's Prabhupads are current to the Parampara, and for those who sincerely follow, accept, and serve him in that capacity, he's our living direct link. And yeah, just that our role, at least, so because sometimes that can be misused to avoid responsibility to guide, care for, and mentor others. And so, and that's an abuse of the true principle that Prabhupada's fully available as a link to the Parampara. So my endeavor, with whatever varied degrees of success, is to that my way to attempt to be a guru, in Sanskrit terms it would be called Siksha Guru. My way to attempt to be a guru is not to be someone's link to Prabhupada, rather to support, encourage others to connect with Srila Prabhupada personally, with Srila Prabhupada as their current link to the Parampara, and my role, my way of trying to be Guru, Priti Vidyachiyata Nagarati Guram Sarvatra Pachara Hoibe Maranam, to encourage the spreading of Krishna consciousness around the globe, is to encourage, at least throughout this lifetime, if not longer, but at least throughout this lifetime, through my example and words, to support, encourage, caringly challenging others to continue to develop and strengthen one's personal link to the field. So that's the way I endeavor to be Siksha. And for me, that relates to use 3 Latin terms that we sometimes use in transformative communication, borrowing this from Stephen Covey. But back to Stephen. Okay. So through ethos means through developing sattvic, fine, dharmic character. Ethos, as the saying goes, I can't hear what you're saying because your actions are speaking so loudly. Like, whatever you're saying, and maybe it's good or not, but based on the character you're showing, I'm really not so inspired. So ethos, pathos, empathy. pathos, commitment that whoever I'm with, I'm endeavoring to represent Srila Prabhupada, that they feel deeply received, respected, and understood in what's happening for them, including their worldview, including their philosophy. Even if their philosophy is completely nonsense. And this is completely off the pearl. Prabhupada has a letter from December 1972 to Balavanta Prabhu, Bill Ogle. And Bill Ogle was running for mayor of Atlanta at that time. Prabhupada encouraged him and a few others to develop the In God We Trust political party. After a while, Prabhupada brought that to a close, but it was fun for a while. And so Prabhupada wrote to Bill Ogle, whom he knew was interacting with, a very educated population. And he wrote to him, he said, if we want to attract intelligent people to this Krishna consciousness movement, we need to be really good listeners. And he gave the example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu listening for days to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And even though Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was a highly intellectual person, he was speaking Mayavad nonsense. Prabhupada emphasized, though, Lord Chaitanya listened to it. As the saying goes, people don't care what you know till they know that you care. Often, a great way to show that we care is to show that rather than give my preaching or my advice or my argument or my agreement or disagreement, that I've deeply understood what you're saying. And so after several days of Lord Chaitanya humbly listening, then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was like, well, you really listened to me. You really understood me. But I'm wondering, like, what's your point of view? Do you have a perspective? Do you have something to say about Vedanta? And then Lord Chaitanya was like, well, since you asked. And then Lord Chaitanya just torpedoed all of the false logic. And yes, and all of the false logic. And he defeated. But not just defeated in a smashing way. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's heart was transformed. It all started with Lord Chaitanya being a really good listener. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Similar scenario, first chapter, and into the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is listening to Arjuna. Then Arjuna feels received, understood in what he said, what he's feeling, his experience of physical sensation, his experience of weakness of thought. And then Arjuna is ready to receive the profound philosophical treatise of Bhagavad Gita. So, logos, pathos, no. Ethos, pathos, and third, logos. And that comes, logos means that whatever I do, whatever I say, I'm authentically representing Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Siddhanta. And so logos is vitally important, and we can note in the sequence, it comes last. Because as a general principle, even if what you say is logical, philosophical, correct, aligned with the Vedas, if I'm not feeling understood, if I'm feeling disrespected, if your character seems to be a mess, I'm probably not going to be too open to it. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's at this time ask, well, who would like to share your offering with Srila Prabhupada?
Of course, there's online meeting as well.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, that's what
You can share.
I
I was just getting some water.
Oh, okay.
You can share. Yeah.
I'll share.
Okay, thank you, Bhakti Melissa.
Dear Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your lotus feet. My offering to you is number one. I'm not skillful in my prayers yet. But please accept my humble offering. A little over a year ago, I was so lost. I had a lifetime of mental speculation and trying to understand philosophy and trying to understand communication and trying to understand interpersonal relationships and trying to understand the suffering of the world and why is there suffering? And through many endeavors to try to raise quality of life and support others to join me, I grew despondent that there's nothing that could fill the God-sized hole in my heart, and I didn't know that that's what was going on because I didn't know God. Yeah, I didn't know grace. I didn't know surrender. A little bit over a year ago, I got maybe a couple of years now. I got an invitation to come to Prabhupada house, and in just a moment of hearing Bhagavad Gita and hearing your words, I was so attracted. I'm so attracted. I didn't understand. But thank goodness, as a personality, I have a stubbornness that I just kept coming, and I kept practicing, even though I didn't know why. I didn't allow my need for understanding to prevent me from coming closer to you. And I kept showing up. And somehow you've cut through all of my nonsense. You've cut through all of my nonsense, for I understand maybe 1%. And that 1% feels like such a miracle. That I can at least accept grace and surrender and dependency in Krishna. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the words that you've given us to guide us. Thank you for your lectures. I desire greater association with you every day. I want to be with your books. I want to be with your words. I want to be with your lectures. Thank you. Thank you for the association of your devotees and servants. Without them, guided by you, I wouldn't be here. Thank you for your character. Thank you for thank you for your causeless mercy. Through your words, I understand that I've done nothing to deserve or earn the mercy and grace that I'm receiving. And I'm just so grateful. Please accept me as a student. I only wish to serve you and to serve Krishna, that I may somehow help others who are also lost in the ocean of suffering, the material ocean of suffering. I would love to help others if it's your will that I am able to do so. Please let me serve you. I desire to be your servant for the rest of this life and as many lives as I take. I hope that this is the case. And we'll work very hard. Please, Prabhupada, help me cleanse my heart, ease my tormented mind. Everything that I am, everything that I do, and everything I have is from the causeless mercy given to me by Krishna and by you. I only desire to be your servant, the servant of the servant of the servant of you.
Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pacharya Narashesha Sunyavadi Prashchacha Desatarni.
Shri Prabhupada ki. Thank you, Bhakti and Rosa.
Yeah, I guess I'll go next. Prabhupada, on this Vyasa-Puja day, I just want to thank you. I'm a little emotional, but I'll get past. I want to thank you for coming on that shit that day. To say, wretch like me, You had to endure a lot. Because you took what Krishna has given to all of us. It's love. You gave us everything. We must repay you. And like your guru said, Bhaktisiddhanta, one person becomes Krishna conscious. This one person, his mission is complete. I can see, type of service that I do. I'm a preacher, distributing books every day. Lord Chaitanya books, Krishna's books. And I'm seeing how the world is preparing for the golden age of Krishna consciousness. I'm hoping, I'm praying that perpetrators of the poisoning of you, I know they've been poisoned. I hope there's some, in this lifetime, in my lifetime, there's some justice to that, but it's all up in Christian's hands. I'm in a caregiver role as being trying to be a husband designation. I feel a duty to protect you sometimes. You know my lifestyle. I think about you all the time. And I do get frustrated when I see people take advantage of the gift of love that you gave us. Where it would be millions of lifetimes. So please protect me from Maya. Thank you. Very good. Maybe.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Thank you, Yamaraj Prabhu. Would someone either in person or online like to share an offering with Srila Prabhupada? Yeah, in either either online or in person, if someone would like to share an offering.
Is it appropriate for me to read other people's offerings from the book?
Yeah, that's a possibility. So if someone wants to share their own.
Is this a book? You want to follow it? Well, you can hold on to it. We might do that. Okay.
Raga Devi, would you like to share an offering with Srila Prabhupada?
I'm trying to select myself to.
Do you need assistance?
No, that's not the issue. That could be the issue, but. Right,
You better, you know, think,
yeah, maybe,
yeah.
I'm not sure.
You're thinking about.
Right.
Hare
There's so many options. And I said, I think that-
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Ananta Shakti. Prabhu. And Anandini, would you like to read an offering or share an offering?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I'll move the video so you're in front of Prabhupada.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there you go.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master, you, Srila Prabhupada, opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I'm going to change the view so that I see Srila Prabhupada better. Okay, the journey continues. Srila Prabhupada, you are opening my eyes to more and more see my ignorance and the reality that is beyond. As I walk further on this path, delineated by you, Srila Prabhupada, I am getting a sense of your compassion, like seeing the drop of water and knowing it's part of an endless ocean. I am writing this offering on the appearance day of Lord Balaram, who is the original spiritual master. I have read that a true spiritual master can be as hard as a thunderbolt and as soft as a rose. That is exactly my experience of you, Srila Prabhupada. I experience you in your writings, in your comments to Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. In your purports in Srimad Bhagavatam, you are mercifully and simultaneously mercilessly opening my eyes to the fact that where I am is a prison house. This year, particularly, you helped me see how and by what I am enslaved, chained, all the reasons why I am stuck here. It is not a mistake. My consciousness is clouded, has dark and very dark corners that have been covered by illusion. In shining light on my misconceptions that lead to so much misery and suffering, I experience you as hard as a thunderbolt. When hearing your voice in lectures or conversations, when sitting and meditating on you in my mind, when hearing your disciples speak of you, or contemplating your appearance in picture form in Krishna book and Chaitanya Charitamrita, when I am engaged in devotional service, I find you as soft as a rose. There I experience how you are opening my eyes to what is beyond the conditioning. The spirit soul, always pure, always eager to dance and sing with Krishna, tender and loving, swimming in an ocean of delight when engaged in devotional service. You seem to not care about where I come from. what abominable things I have done in my past and continue to do, my lack of training in how to deal with your devotees, and all of Krishna's children with true respect and honor. You seem to see the devotee heart in me, the spark of desire to love Krishna and all his creation with full heart and full might. You speak to it with force and determination, unstoppable, not shying anything. You speak to me through your books, through your words, sometimes through my own mind, and especially through people in my life who are devoted to truth. I am grateful for the true friends and dedicated companions you direct into my life. I am making progress in appreciating my inmates and accepting their support and care. For perhaps lifetimes, I endeavored to follow the first commandment in the Bible. I try to follow Lord Jesus Christ in fulfilling that first commandment, to love God with all my heart, might, and soul, to serve him with mind, words, and body. I feel I'm getting a new chance here, under your guidance, to complete what I endeavored to learn from Lord Jesus Christ. At the beginning of this year, I pleaded guilty. I am in this prison house for good reasons. The responsibility is right in me and with me. I consciously and deliberately volunteered for rehabilitation. As part of the rehabilitation training, I am committed to meet every one of Krishna's creatures with an open and loving heart and see the divinity in them, even if I am rejected and not understood by them. I am committed to not close my heart and hide in resentment and bitterness, and always strive for compassion. It's a bittersweet journey, bringing much heartache and grief. I stumble again and again. In essence, it is very humbling. It is a tough training, Srila Prabhupada. I appreciate from the bottom of my heart that you're always here. Although sometimes I think you swallow hard or close your eyes when you see me, my childish attempts and stumblings. You're guiding me, sometimes with heavy truth and sometimes with sweet and tender love. If it weren't for that sweetness and the continuous and steady bliss and shelter I find in Kirtan, and the amazing services you entrust in me in this world, I might have left the rehabilitation training and regretted my volunteering for it. My prayer to you, Srila Prabhupada, is that you keep me close forever. Please never allow me to walk away. I am committed to serve you and the very essence of your teachings, not attached to externals, free from any sectarianism and fundamentalism. I commit to continue my endeavor to always understand you better and represent you as you are. Share your message unconditionally with joy and humility. Your child, with a tearing heart that is filled with tears of grief and love, joy and appreciation, wonder and shock, crying for shelter, guidance, love, and protection, is desiring to powerfully and effectively assist you in Lord Chaitanya's mission. Anandini Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Thank you, Anandini Devi Dasi Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Right. That would be great. You could even keep that.
Would someone in person or online, like to share offering to Srila Prabhupada? Lakshmi Priya. Let's focus in with Lakshmi Priya.
Oh, dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances on words to you. First, you're my favorite person. Your integrity and honor, and your gentleness and your stamina, your steadiness, your everything are all pleasing reminders and daily inspirations to carry on in Krishna consciousness and to carry on in general. When I think of you, I feel deep, heartfelt consideration. Recognizing how fortunate I am that I didn't miss being so close to your pastimes on this planet. I often recall finally my instant interest in you and everything about you. I already knew you were pure before I knew even what that meant. I wanted to know you, curiously and vigorously checking all of the details about you I associated with you, seeing you live on YouTube, and still do, with keen desire to witness your magical and precious presence. I adore listening to devotees speak admirably about their association with you too. I always know you'll have the perfect message, no matter where I land, online or in your books. Again, I feel fortunate to live in a time with access to live stream with which to associate with your worldwide leadership, your voice, your sincere guidance. Had it been for books alone, I'm afraid I might not be here today. And because I've grown in my relationship with you, your books, your books have become my very guidepost for daily living in purification. I fully trust you and your words. And each time I see you or hear you, I gain knowledge of the richness and bliss available to me in this lifetime. And the same for my eternal soul. Even on a difficult day or an emotionally challenging day, I absolutely know to go to you and no one else for medicine. My enthusiasm for your books gets the best of me, often because I want to shout it from the rooftops in gratitude for the life I gave up to be here with you, facing your existence, which has ultimately and finally altered my own existence. Still, I have so much to learn from you. I feel afraid of not having enough time, of my wasted time, of my lack of seriousness, my unclear and often questionable sincerity. The thing is, you're always standing right by me. redirecting me towards Krishna with open arms, no matter my awkward behavior. Yesterday, I had a Reiki session, not one I asked for, it just kind of fell into my path, and I laid down to receive and rest. And that quiet mood that overcame me, and that silence, it brought me to tears because I felt your presence. I felt the desire for some redirection in my life. I feel the desire for redirection in my life. I imagine ways that I can be closer to you and further from my own distracting habits. When that session was complete, I sat in silence and reflected on my life and my decisions. And I often feel like I disappoint you and others. Yet the healer in the room asked me excitedly, who was the man with us? Who was so jubilant? Who was so jubilant over you? So happy for you, with open arms and an ear-to-ear grin. I feel grateful you showed up for me during that quiet moment, even though I know that you're always with me. Yesterday, you appeared vibrantly, powerful, so that she could see you too. It has opened she and I up for more meaningful and potent conversations, and it has loosened my tightness and allowed me to feel more nourished, protected, and loved. Thank you for being present, for inspiring and eager to guide me forward, and for never giving up on me. I know very deeply in my heart that you're consistent, turning toward me with love is why I keep showing up here. There's no space for giving up or straying too far. And every day, there you are, with smiles and arms open. Bhagavad Gita 10:10, to those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give them the understanding in which they can come to me. Thank you for telling us that. Thank you for the unwavering support. Your genuine and consistent patience for showing us how to be devotees in this crazy material world, no matter our past, and for dedicating and sharing all that you have with me and with all of us here. I offer my loving appreciation today in honor of your endless hours of translations that have allowed me to transform as well in my life and in all of our lives. I'm eternally grateful. Sincerely, your loving and appreciative servant, and Krishna.
Good.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you, Lakshmi Priya Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Welcome, Bhakti and Bhakti Valerie. Welcome. Hare Krishna Bharat Prabhu, Hare Bol, and Ananta Shakti. Would anyone in person or online? Yes, Ananta Shakti, Hare Krishna. Would anyone in person or online like to share an offering with Srila Prabhupada?
Hare Krishna.
Bhaktin Danielle. Thank you. Let's focus in with Bhaktin Danielle and Srila Prabhupada. I'll move the video so it can be. Yes, we're with you, Bhaktin Danielle. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I like to hide from Vyasa-Puja offerings specifically because I feel so inadequate speaking to you. I feel very uncomfortable taking up everyone's time right now. Most of all, taking up your time. And I would say that is probably one of the core tenets of our relationship is me running away. Because I feel inadequate. In our association. I feel so much pain in the knowledge that I'm not fully showing up and that I'm not fully revealing my heart to you, even though I know that I can't hide anything from you. I love Lord Nishimadev. I feel so much support and protection when I think about Lord Nishimadev and that relationship that I have with him because when I think of my life before devotee association, before Bhakta George, before this beautiful community, before my relationship with you, I had a birth family that I felt was very painful to be around. And I had association that was very painful to be around. And I love the idea of that not being only choice. And when I think about you, Srila Prabhupada, when I'm with you, I feel like you're my father. I feel like your true father. And I struggle because I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what a healthy father relationship looks like. And I don't know what a healthy daughter relationship looks like. And I don't know how to serve you properly. And I struggle so hard because this is not the legacy that I want to leave for my daughter. This is not the legacy I want to leave for your serving, your true servant, Saraswati Devi Dasi. Last time I spoke to you, she was still inside my womb and I was offering her to you. And I know you've received her. She's so devoted to you. And I feel like my service is so small and so unseen and so important because I know that every action that I'm taking is strengthening her. I feel it every day that the library that I've created for her, the way in which her father shows up for her, you know, George is an amazing dad. And I know that it's his service to you. That every day we're teaching her Krishna consciousness and every day we're surrounding her with things that she thinks are totally normal. And she has such inspiration. You know, today she wants to give you a spa. She doesn't really know the word Abhishek, but she knows that she wants to take care of you and it's coming from her heart. And I know that somewhere it's the way you're reciprocating with me. I have difficulty approaching you directly, but somehow I'm able to do it for her. I'm able to see my goodness through her lens when she looks at me. And I know that's because of your relationship with her. And I know this year has been a challenging year. There's been a lot of ways in which I failed myself, everyone around me. And you, most of all. And like so many other people have said, no, you just care so much. And you never reject me. And you never see me as irredeemable, which is devastatingly beautiful. Because it makes me realize how much I want to be worthy of a love like that, a relationship like that. I know that there's so much service to do. I know that my path in preparing myself doesn't look like what other people do. I know that it doesn't make sense when people look at me, and sometimes it doesn't make sense when I look at me, because I have a conception of what a yogini does, or like what a woman does, or what a devotee does. And sometimes my path doesn't look like that. And so it's another way that my mind likes to torture me. And yet I know the reasons for what I'm doing. I know why I do what I do. And of course, not all of it is perfect, right? Nothing I'm doing is perfect, actually. But it is sincere, and it is because of your guidance. I am eternally devoted to you. I know that. I want that so much. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. And the only happiness I find is when I execute your tasks, when I do the things that I know you want me to do. And I understand the perception of that. I understand that when I don't lean onto my own understanding, when I'm not leading into my own inspiration, when I'm not coming up with my own ideas of the way that it should be, and I'm doing what you want me to do, it works out perfectly. It works out so well, even if it's painful in the moment, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it doesn't look good. And I want that. That's what I want. I want to do that forever. I want to do that forever because I know that you have a plan. I know you have a perfect plan, and it gets me back to Godhead. And honestly, even as I say that, there's a part of me that I don't believe I will ever get back to Godhead. And that's really not the point for me. Even if I never get back to Godhead, I never want to stop serving you. I love you so much. And I am so appreciative of you allowing me to do anything for you. And please protect Saraswati, and please continue to strengthen her relationship with you. And please help me to know how best to do that for her. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki. Bhakti Danielle ki. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Daniel. Would anyone in person like to share an offering at this time? Ragadevi, you're thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to be right at home. I know it a long time ago. It's still very relevant, but it's not completely finished. It's so many distractions. But yeah, I'm not ready quite yet.
Not quite yet, okay.
Right, thank you. Thank you.
Would anyone online like to share an offering with Srila Prabhupada?
I didn't plan to do that online, and we already did, but I don't mind doing it a second time.
If you'd like to, Bharat Prabhu, we welcome you to share with Srila Prabhupada, Bharat.
Well, I did create my offering as a rhyme in German. Um, if you don't mind.
I fully encourage you to share your poem in German.
Jai. Okay.
I trust that Srila Prabhupada understands German perfectly.
Transcendental sound vibration, definitely. I'll do my obeisances here and get my paper.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
One moment. Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Murti Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinam Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasharini Vishesha Shamavani Krishna Shakti. Lieber Srila Prabhupada, ich habe dir eben schon mal ein Gedicht vorgetragen und mache es nun nochmal. Viele Seelen hast du heimgesendet, ein für alle Mal ihr Leid beendet. Alle Seelen lädst du ein, komm doch einfach heim. Selbst mir hast du die Medizin verschrieben, muss man sie sich doch eigentlich verdienen. Ich komme zwar aus der Unterschicht, doch interessiert dich Klasse oder Rasse nicht. Von dir habe ich gelernt zu leben, schlafen, trinken, essen, fühlen, denken. Ach, ich wünschte, ich könnte dir was geben. Deine Anweisung soll mich nur lenken. Denn als die rechte Hand vom höchsten Herrn hat er dich sicherlich besonders gern. Alle Wünsche wird er dir erfüllen, sofern du offenbarst, was ist dein Willen. Deine Barmherzigkeit kennt keine Grenzen. In Demut schluckst du Gift und trägst die Konsequenzen. Du verbreitest auf die neuartigste Weise die Lehre von der Art und Weise, wie man zurückgelangen kann. Dorthin, wo alles angefangen, irgendwann. Ich danke dir besonders für die Lectures, Bücher, Briefe, kurz gesagt, dein Wort, denn zu jeder Zeit und jedem Ort kann ich nun hören dein geschätztes Wort. Es ist mir eine Freude, gestern, morgen und auch heute. Du lebst nicht von der Anerkennung aller Massen, gibst nicht an in deinen Klassen, mit deinem Fortschritt, deiner Position. Der Dienst zum Herrn ist dir allein der Lohn. Wenngleich du nicht nach einer Belohnung strebst, durch das Beispiel, was du lebst, gelten auf dieser Erde deine Schriften als Gesetzbücher mitnichten. Der Sinn des Lebens meinerseits hat unterm Strich nur einen Reiz. Deinen Worten, und zwar allen, will ich folgen, dir gefallen. Bei allem, was ich tue, an dich denken, was kann ich dir denn schon schenken? Und selbst das ist leider nicht vollkommen. Nichtsdestotrotz, bleib weiterhin mir wohlgesonnen. Du bist mehr als nur mein Lehrer. Und ich bin nicht nur ein Verehrer. Du bist eher so wie ein Vater. Doch bist du auch wie ein Berater, wie ein guter Freund, der keine Mühen scheut. Betrachte mich als deinen ungezogenen Sohn, getrieben nicht von materiellem Lohn. Ich will dich sehen auf der Welten Thron. Wenn ich mir könnte etwas wünschen, dein Konterfeit auf Silbermünzen. Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Hi. Srila Prabhupada Ki. Dankeschön, Bharat Prabhu.
Gerne geschehen. Sehr Govinda, Prabhu.
We have time for one more offering before we go to Guru Puja and offering Srila Prabhupada his Vyasa-Puja feast, if someone else wants to offer. Anasuya. Let's focus in with Anasuya.
Dearest Papa. Dear Prabhupada, I call you that because of my dearest friend, Leslie, about, a little over 5 years ago. I was preparing for a foundational course and I was going to do, or I did do at the art festival, a stand to give out information about transformative communication. And I saw your picture, I saw your painting, Pushkar's painting of you, and it was so attractive. And I was the first to respond, and I told my friend Leslie that I have to come get you. I have to come get you. And the arrangements were I have to come get you that night. I had to get you that night, and before the workshop and the art festival started. And she carried you gently in her lap and by the passenger side, and she couldn't say your name. She couldn't say Prabhupada, but she said, I have Papa in my lap. I'm bringing Papa home for you. And she continues to be in such wonderful service. We bought flowers for your beautiful appearance day today. And I had the honor of my 91-year-old father also being in the car. So the three of us went in search of glorious abundance of flowers to celebrate you today. And I just treasure that I get to share you with everyone in my service. And so I just wanted to let you know why, I sometimes call you Papa because Leslie calls you Papa. I think that's really sweet. So in my offering, I wrote, 60 years ago this month, you departed from Calcutta on a cargo ship with only a suitcase, an umbrella, and a Bengali copy of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we have a beautiful Chaitanya Charitamrita group that studies, that's been wonderful for the past 7 years. And I can only imagine how treasured that copy was for you. Your most precious cargo on this ship was also 200 3-volume sets of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam that you translated in English. By Krishna's mercy, at the age of 70, you took up the mission to bring Krishna consciousness to the United States of America. In 1965, when I was only 3 years old, you received these instructions from your spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, while in your mid-20s, and you kept your commitment 45 years later. I'm blown away by your humility and determination to speak about Krishna, who is your very dear friend, to everyone you met. And one of your merciful ways of approaching people is through prasadam distribution. I can attest to the joy it brings to people to enjoy your simply wonderful sugar cookies, including my dad and my brother, who gobble them up as soon as the cookies have been enjoyed by Krishna. And at the recent Sabato Advanced course graduation, I was sending cookies home with people to enjoy with their loved ones. Thank you for your excellent example of how to be a joyful and sober servant of Krishna. I have been aspiring to be in that mood of devotional service to bring Krishna consciousness through the Sabato group facilitator training that started in April of 2025 and will conclude in January 2026 with 8 co-facilitators at a Sabato foundational course in Alachua, Florida. My father's retirement community, I'm conducting a series of workshops, communicating with heart, aka Krishna, they don't know. One of the participants inquired about the 3 gunas, and I gave them a copy of your Bhagavad Gita as it is. Book distribution ki jai. I will be staffing 2 Sabato courses in September and October 2025. Through your books, lectures, and instructions, I get to support myself and others in their self-realization process during these Sabato courses and in my personal offerings, workshops, and coaching practice. I'm experiencing abundance in so many unexpected ways. Thank you for guiding me to say yes to Hari Priya when she called me about registering for the group facilitator training. I remember that it was Hari Priya's birthday, and I was the last person to register within the deadline to complete the required number of participants in the program. She was shocked and expressed that it was the best birthday gift ever. Thank you for your many gifts that are experienced over and over with every kirtan. Reading Krishna Katha, singing the holy names, and chanting japa. I am most fortunate to have come to you through Dhira Govinda Prabhu and Mother Malini, my spiritual teachers over the past decade. They are sincere devotees and are dedicated to spreading Krishna consciousness all over the globe. Of course, it doesn't compare to your amazing mission trip from 1965 to 1977, where you circled the globe 14 times on lecture tours, spreading the chanting of the Maha Mantra to thousands of people on 6 continents. Thank you for being my ever well-wisher. May I never forget Krishna. May I never forget you. May I remember that the goal is to go back home, back to Godhead. And may I somehow receive even a teardrop of your humility. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have a strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhaktivedanta, and now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhaktivedanta. I was assigned the most unfortunate and significant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, on the board of the ship Jaladuta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, dated the 18th of September, 1965. With much affection, your joyful and sober servant, Anasuya Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you, Anasuya Devi Dasi Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada Vyasa-Puja celebration ki. Appearance day of Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Raga Devi Dasi, would you like to lead Sri Guru Charana Padma, followed by a short kirtan?
Here, hold on.
If anyone needs words, we have copies. I made a bunch of friends. Fairly enough.
Oh, great. So, we're at the clock stop time? Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to visit. So, thank you. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sabha, Krishna Prati Ho Jaya Om Shri Krishna Prati Ho Jaya Krishna Prati Yepasha de Pure Sarva Dhamma. Yepasha de Pure Sarva Dhamma. Jasudala Dhira De Jame Jame Sabu Se Jasudala Dhira De Jame Jame Sabu Se Jasudala Dhira De Jame Jame Sabu Se
Prabhupada.